came right in here off the trail because of these big mature pines, but I'm not really seeing something that I like in terms of placement in here. For one, I guess you could, let's just go over. If you're placing a cache, I guess you kind of have three options. You could bury it, you could set it on the ground in a stone cairn, or you can hang it from a tree. Now there are positives and negatives to all of those options. Going over the first one, let's say you bury your cache. You better have a good marker in mind because it's going to get very difficult to find. Most of the time, buried things in the woods remain buried. Not only that, but whenever you put it underground, you subject it to freeze and thaw if you live in an area that has winter as one of its seasons, and that could crush and damage your cache. It'll also make it really, really hard for you to retrieve if the ground is frozen over, and you're not going to be able to get to your supply. You do not, I would highly recommend against not burying your cache unless you live in like an arid area. And one benefit, if you do get a lot of foot traffic in that area, it's a popular forest or whatever, burying it could be an option. Just don't make your blaze obvious. Your next option, which I think is a little better, would be placing your cache on like a high point on the ground where it's not going to get washed out, and then you build a stone cairn around it to cover it. But again, you want to have a good blaze, and things change in the wintertime. Whenever that snow hits and the leaves fall down, your landscape changes, so that could make it harder to find as well, but you'll have an easier time retrieving it than if you bury it. Your third option, if you hang your cache in a tree, say you have a lot of bear or coyote around that'll sniff it out, hanging it is a good option. The only thing with that is that you leave it visible for people to find, which brings me to why I'm in these pines. I would like to hang it, but I can't see anywhere. These pines are so mature that all the cover is way up there, and I really don't want it that high because wind, deadfall, and I don't need somebody to see it. So I don't necessarily like this area, but I do suggest, again, if you're going to hang it, you want to hang it in a pine tree. Otherwise, come fall or winter, when all the leaves come down, anybody walking through is going to see it. They're going to go, what's that? And guess what? You just lost whatever you put in there. So those are kind of like the things that I look for, think about whenever I'm going to set a cache. I'm going to go to another area over here, and I'm going to see what option is best for me.